Hey, what's up, world? This is Antonio Edwards here. I had to do this video. I have a case study from one of my students. Her name is Malikah Woody. She is implementing the slow flip model. A lot of people been following me. You know, I talk about the slow flip. You buy a property, you own it, gain cash flow without doing any repairs to it. And some people think it's too good to be true until they actually dip their toe in, test one out, and then next thing you know, these people got 4, 5, 10 plus of these slow flips. Like, wow, this is an amazing model. I literally had somebody yesterday, literally on my Instagram, a client of mine, he was like, hey man, I need another one of those slow flips. What you got? Like literally. But this is all about Malikah, right? I want to bring her on. You picked up a quick 2 of them, and it's just talk about your experience with the slow flips, and let's talk about those 2 slow flip properties that you have. So go ahead, and this is the ball is in your court right now. I just want to hear you tell me about the numbers. And I just want you to just spill these numbers out because they're just so sexy. The numbers, like some people in LA are what you're getting on the cash flow a month. People in LA are not even getting that much. People are scraping to get a few $100s a month off of a $500 or $1 million property. And you're buying these numbers on the price you're buying them at are just immaculate. So just share with the world your slow flip numbers and your experience with the slow flip model.
Okay. So the first one was a property that was $90,000 and it needed about $10,000 worth of work, repairs and things. Of course, I'm not handy. I didn't want to do the work. So I posted it for $100,000 and $10,000 down, $1,050 a month. The mortgage on it only cost me under $500 a month. So I'm collecting.
How much did you owe on that property?
I owed about 70.
Okay, owed 70. And you said I remember you telling me earlier that this was a previous traditional rental property?
It was a traditional rental property.
So you used so you took it once your tenant moved out, you converted it over to a slow flip model.
Absolutely, and I will never go back.
Tell me about it. All right, so keep going. So people watching, this is good.
So because you have no landlord duties, and so that's one of the benefits for me. The second one that I did is in Ohio. I picked up a house for $24,000, and I posted it for $45,000 with $10,000 down, $700 a month. My phone blew up. I got a separate phone number, of course, like a Google Voice type number. And I have over 100 people wanting this property.
And you're not exaggerating, right? About the 100 people.
I'm not exaggerating. No. Now it is in a little bit of an economically depressed area. So I wasn't sure about the 10,000, if that was reasonable for people there. And so my expectation was that people would ask for a lower down payment, which did happen. And, but I did find a buyer paying $10,000, but he split it 5 now and 5 in 6 months. He'll pay $700 a month in between and then continue paying $700 a month after that.
Wow. I mean, even if you would have gotten just $3,000 flat down up front, I mean, that's still a beautiful return. So if you got 10 grand, 5 now up front, and then another 6 months, which is what, another few months from now, you get that remaining 5, and he'll continue to pay that $700. Yes. How many years is that? Are you going to get paid at $700 a month cash flow?
It's 10 years for him to pay it off. If he does realize, he said he wants to pay it off sooner, which is fine with me because it's listed at 45. So I'll make the 20 and just walk away with 20 right away.
And then you can go buy another $20,000 house in Ohio. Just repeat.
Yes. I actually I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Malikah. Go ahead.
You were talking about buying another one in Ohio. One of the gentlemen who wanted this one has been calling me. He's on his way to Ohio now, and he wants to find a house on the market for me to buy cash and then flip immediately to him because he can't get traditional financing.
It's great. I'm glad you brought it up because a lot of our slow flip owner occupants, we have several that once we put them in one, they want another one because they're kind of like doing their own thing, like they're leasing it out traditionally, while we're kind of the bank per se, and they'll hit us up like, hey, you have another one, kind of like what you said, like we'll buy cash, and then we'll finance them on the slow flip model for 10, 20, or 30 years, or whatever the case may be, while they pay us the monthly cash flow. So I love it. I mean, and I always tell my clients, my slow flip clients, I always like, it's virtually hard to lose in this model. Like it seems like you're always in the driver's seat.
Right.
And that's why I like it. And like you said earlier, it's no landlord duties. What part of Ohio is this $24,000 property you bought?
These are in Steubenville and Weirton, the ones I'm looking at.
Is that far from Columbus?
They're about 2 hours east of Columbus. They're on the border, West Virginia border.
Got it. Are you so you got the one in Ohio, the one in Tallahassee that you converted over to a slow flip. Mm-hmm. The one in Tallahassee, talk about, I know you said you getting $10.50 a month, you slow flip it out for $100K, right?
Right.
Got 10 grand down on that one?
Yes.
Okay. And your mortgage on that $70K loan that you owe the bank is what, 500?
It's right. It's just under 500.
Wow. What's okay? The two properties. Some people might be asking, okay, for the one in Ohio, 45,000, and then the one in Tallahassee, Florida, is 100,000. Are you charging interest to your own occupants? It's not just going straight to principal, right?
Right. I charge interest. I don't focus on the interest amount when I'm deciding how to price them. I take into consideration a lot of other factors. The interest is secondary because the people who are wanting to buy them, what they're looking for is affordability and ownership. They recognize that to be able to pay what they'd be paying anyway for rent, but to eventually own it is a more favorable situation to them than just paying somebody rent for the rest of their lives and never owning anything. Plus rent keeps going up and this payment never goes up. It's going to be, $10.50, even when other people are renting the other condos for $2,000.
Yep. You're hitting the nail on the coffin there. It's like a fixed rate per se.
Right.
The payment's like a fixed rate. So people that's watching this, that are maybe this is the first time ever hearing about the slow flip, or they want to get into the slow flip, what do you say? What's your experience with the slow flip model?
It's been incredible. I would say go ahead, learn it and implement it. It is hard to lose. Yes. Some of the questions that come up are things like, what if the person doesn't take care of the property, or what if they miss a payment, or what if they move out and now the contract is broken? Even when the tenant may do something that under a traditional rental model as a landlord would be really bad and terrible for you, it doesn't even matter in a slow flip. If they move out, it's actually kind of a good thing because now you repost it and you get another $10,000 and you just do it again. If it's livable, then you don't have to do the repairs because somebody will be interested in fixing it up. The one I did in Ohio, it needs about $10,000, $15,000 worth of work, but it's livable. Mm-hmm. And I had a huge response of people wanting it.
And out of that $10,000 to $15,000, Malikah, how much money did you throw out there in repairs for that?
I would say zero. I could have done zero, but I put in a hot water heater and it was.
You probably didn't have to do that though.
I didn't have to.
So no. The water heater was $1,000, give or take.
It was about 500, yes. Well, I had. Okay. I know somebody in the area. They installed it for me for free. I bought it at Home Depot in Pittsburgh. They picked it up and put it in for me for free.
So you're out of pocket $500.
$500, but I didn't have to do that. That was just my own personal standard. And I said, I wanted to provide that to whoever the buyer is going to be.
You know what I would have done, Malikah.
I
know. Yeah. So with that being said, this is so good. All right. So you already had a loan on the property in Tallahassee. I'm trying to think how somebody who's watching this would think, or the questions they may have. Mm-hmm. That property that you just your latest slow flip, right? You in Ohio, you paid $24,000. So somebody's watching is like, man, I don't have $24,000. So how did you acquire that property? Was it with your own cash? Did you use OPM, other people's money? Tell us about that.
Other people's money.
Mm.
For the one in Ohio, I got financing
Mm-hmm.
through an organization called BHG, which
Mm-hmm.
actually you recommended online in your forum, in your Facebook forum.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked out pretty well. Anybody that asks me about BHG, they fund 100%, but I always give a disclaimer. They will start out high, don't accept the offer.
Yep.
Get them down to something that is acceptable to you and reasonable for you. And they will blow up your phone and they'll be calling you and texting you and emailing you a lot. So just know that's going to happen, but don't accept the first offer. I also, in the process, because I didn't know I was going to go with BHG until the very last minute, like literally the day of the closing.
Yep.
And they transferred the money. Like the process was really quick once I said yes.
Yep.
But I also had a couple of private lenders waiting in the wings. And how I met those people was, again, following your advice. I'm not a very extroverted person. I don't want to be salesy, but the advice was basically just to, when you encounter people and they say, what do you do? That you just let them know.
Yep.
I invest in real estate, or, I invest people's money, give them an 8 to 12% return. It's anchored by real estate. And then just keep on moving with the conversation. If they're interested, they will ask you how they can be one of your investors.
100%.
And that is exactly what happened. I didn't believe it, but I was like, let me try it. He said it's going to work. I tried it and it worked.
Yeah. And some people think they make it harder than what it is. And you'll see in our forum, and like Antonio, like, how do I raise private money? And it's just letting people know what you do. And like, I think the rest will follow. Like you say, if they're interested, they'll raise their hand. Like, oh, tell me more. I have $50,000 laying around that I want to invest. How can you use that? I mean, it's just that simple. Just letting people know what you do, and letting that, whatever their response is to that, letting that carry.
Yes.
And that's really what the secret is to private lending. It's just letting people know what you do. Most people watching this that want to raise private money, or like, hey, how do I do that? Most people probably just don't let people know what they do. That's just a starting point right there. My swimming instructor, I don't know if you know, but I'm learning how to swim. That's one of my 20. Look, this is one of my, I still have my paper, one of my 2022 non-business related goals is, look at the top one, learn how to swim.
I love that. That's awesome.
So that's checked. That's about to get checked off, because I'm getting there. I'm not fully comfortable yet in the water, but I'm getting there. So I'll say about another month I can check that box off. But anyway, my swim instructor, obviously, she's just not just teach me how to swim. We're talking about other things. So she asked me what I do. I tell her what I do, and she's like, well, my daughter and I, we have a couple of dollars. I have some money in my 401k. My daughter has about $50,000 saved up. We always wanting to get in real estate, but we don't know how. Is any way that we can be on the she said, on the passive side?
Yep.
And I said, say no more. Say no more. So we're when I go back Tuesday, which is a couple of days from today, I'm gonna dial in deeper with her, and tell her more about the promissory note, deed of trust, and how her money's secure. So she's about to be converted over to a private lender just by letting her know.
Incredible. Yeah. And I don't know if, I'm sure you tell people this, but if they use their 401k or their self-directed IRA, that growth is tax-free or tax-deferred.
Yes. And a lot of people I do have several lenders that have that lend me out of their self-directed Roth IRA, and they're already 59.5. Seems like my clients that have self-directed that lend me, they're already automatically tax-free. That's a whole nother topic for another day, is that part, which you're on to something. I like where your head is at, and I can't wait to see where you're at in just 90 days, because it's like after that 1 and that 2 pop, it's like it's not hard. He's like, damn, like this is, I thought this was going to be harder. It's really an easy model, and it's, to me, it's one of the best cash flowing models in the single family world.
Yes, for sure. I will never go back to being a traditional landlord. This is just too great.
Why won't you go back to a traditional landlord, Malikah?
Oh my goodness, a million reasons. No toilets, no tenants, no trash.
Yeah, that part. And it seemed like when they don't take care of your property as much versus the slow flip model. Slow flip model, they actually can't give it back to you. Well, at least in my properties, they can't give it back to me worse than what I gave it to them at.
Yeah.
They only can go up. They only, I mean, if they vacuum the carpet, that's better than what I gave it to them at.
Right. You can't lose. It's just, if you follow the instructions, structure it properly, you calculate your numbers well, you just can't lose.
Right. So when you say numbers, is the numbers hard to calculate for the people that say I'm not good with numbers and I'm good with
No, 3 is bigger than 2.
Yes. Yes. I like it. Let me see what else. Okay, so you talked about your financing for the people in the back that say they don't have a lot of money. So you use other people's money. Are you looking on the market looking for, what's your goal next, like the rest of this year? Do you have a number, how many slow flips you want to acquire?
I don't have a set number of slow flips that I want to acquire, but with this second one that I've done, I already recognize, because people are still calling me, and I took it off the market almost a week ago, and people want this. I'm considering doing a lot more in that area, and I can easily see another 20 or so before the end of the year.
Yes, that I like that you brought it up, because that leads to my next question. You had about 100 people interested in that property. So you have a potential 100 properties you need to go find in that same area that you can implement the slow flip model on.
Yes.
Wow. Just say if you did 20 out of that 100, just say if you did 20 this year, which is honestly, it's not far-fetched. Just say 20 times 10, that's the upfront money. That's 200 grand.
Right.
Just upfront money of down payments, not including that you're going to keep the property for cash flow. It's just beautiful. You need to go out there and find a quick 10 to 20 real quick. People waiting for you.
They are.
Yeah. So I just want to just recap this for people that might have missed what I just said. The property in Ohio that Malikah purchased for $24,000 and got $10,000 down on upfront, $700 a month, right?
Yes.
She had 100 people interested on that one property, and only one occupant can move into that. So she has another 99 people waiting for her to provide them a slow flip property. and what most of those, all of them had refundable down payments ready to give you? Yes,
non-refundable down payments.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, you got some easy work cut out for you. You just got to go get the property and just finance them on the slow flip model.
I'm getting on that.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. Let me see. Anything else? Any last words for the people watching this? This was so good.
I would just say don't overcomplicate it. I take a lot of classes. I pay for masterminds. I do other types of real estate investing besides slow flips. And your course is one of the best that I've been engaged in. It is short. Thank you. It is direct and to the point, and you provide the materials that are needed. You're upfront and honest. And when I had questions, you were available for the questions. And so I would say, just don't overcomplicate it. Take the first step and then take the second step and do it. And you'll see the results very quickly.
Oh, that's so good. Well, I really appreciate you. I do receive those words. And I'm very passionate in what I do. I'm not one of the guys out there or women out there just teaching because they just want to sell education. Like I really do slow flips. I really buy slow flips. Today is Sunday that we're recording this, and I'm texting one of my private lenders like, hey, how much money you got left to lend on me, like for slow flips. So,
right.
But yes, I really appreciate you. I'm so happy for you. I'm really so happy for you. You executed and you're getting the results really quick. So congratulations, Malikah. I'm proud of you, and I wish you many, many countless more slow flips and cash flow coming into your bank account.
Thank you, Antonio.
All right.